Okay, we're in field 1, where we have this little area that we really have never collected the grass with the silo space, just because it's kind of tight to turn around in here. I'm in this little Bucher, I would call it like a golf cart size forage wagon, and we're finally going to collect up this grass. And I believe we probably mowed this 5-6 times without collecting anything. So we'll see how much is actually in here. Yeah, we are getting pretty close ending our Nebraska land series. Just a few more things we want to do on this map before we finish up. I do have another map picked out for us. Another big map. We'll have to do a little sneak preview episode. Give you all a little idea of how it's looking over there on the new map. Looks like it's going to be quite a bit of grass we collected out of here. If I can drive straight on this little forage wagon. Well, it doesn't have a lot of horsepower, but it's probably exactly the thing in a small area like this. Let's go dump this on our forage pile of grass and we'll come back. Alright, second load from our little patch there by the cow pasture. So 20,000 liters so far. And I hit the potato bunker. Alright, we'll go for another load. So we're back in the field and we're close to being full for the third time. Just the last 10% here. And that's it. You can see, we'll drive around a little bit. I really haven't finished off too many of these rows. So there might be quite a bit of grass that we've failed to collect in here. Okay, pulling up with load number 4. Finishing up load number 5. Alright, we got load number 6 here at the big grass pile. Here we are with load number 7 from our little grass field. So far 70,000 liters of uncollected grass we got out of that little corner. So we're coming up here on the last row in the corner of grass that we haven't been collecting for this entire series. And we'll see what we end up with. I'm actually not surprised it's been this much grass. The yields out of these grass fields have been pretty good on the Nebraska land map. And let's see, this should be the last bit here. So 70,000 or 73,605 liters of grass out of this little corner. Well, we are here by the main farm, and we have the big Joper grain truck and the grain train all hooked up. And we've really stopped everything else that's going on at the farm because of this little situation here. Let's pull up the crop screen. We're showing great demand for canola at the seed store, paying $18,802 a ton. And we just completed pretty good sized canola crop. Now we have this all loaded up. We are going to take it straight over there and sell it. Probably the most important trip the grain train has ever made on this map. Because money like that per ton is unheard of for crops in general. I'm not quite sure why canola sits so high on this map. Do a little bit of in-cab to celebrate. I sometimes use the phrase, we're going to make a small fortune on a certain trailer load or grain train load of crops, but I think in this occasion we're going to make a large fortune off all of this. If my mental accounting is correct, me and the boys are going to be eating smoked brisket off that barbecue behind the garage tonight. Because I think this is going to be the big money crop of this series. I might even honk the horn as we go past Cowboy Andy's hotel. We'll have him go down to the grocery store and grab us some baked beans and tater salad to eat tonight. Now let's look up at the right hand corner. $5.8 million, roughly what we have right now, and we'll see what we end up with when we sell all this. If I can maneuver this big rig over the sell point. In fact, I think we're going to go to the end of the road here and turn around in this grass field. Hopefully it hasn't rained and bogged down our very expensive load of canola. I'll be a little bit excited to see how much money we raise from this. Well, this grain truck sure doesn't want to tow this big load. You can see the lower right hand corner, we've got 220,000 odd liters we're taking to the seed store. Wow. Okay. That was just the 80,000 liters in the grain truck. So that's $2 million we made so far off the big canola harvest. Let's see our second trailer. In fact is, we still have about half a field of canola to harvest that Boots is working on right now over in number 3. Alright, last trailer load. So 5.8 to 9.9, we made about $4.1 million on that full grain train of canola. Pretty good. And I think we're going to have to celebrate at the garage tonight. I'm here at the biodiesel plant where I was picking up some slurry in the fuel tank. Gonna go out and do some fertilizing. Unfortunately, Greg and Billy are here with the ambulance. Seems like somebody fell into the digesters and the boys are trying to get him out of there so they can take him to the hospital. I think the volunteer firemen from town are trying to help him. Sometimes them little accidents happen in these industrial plants. Okay, we've driven the pickup truck down to field 5, which is that oddly shaped field in the lower left corner. And strangely enough, field 5 is planted in canola. And from our proceeds of selling the canola before, I think we're going to purchase this field. And harvest the canola that's in it. See if we can make even more money. Alright, we're here in field 24, the biggest field in the map, which we've spent some money to buy. Have the new Holland T9 Halftrac and the nice new horse seeder. We're going to start planting some wheat in this field. Once we get the headlands in, Greg is back from his emergency, and he's going to take over because he wanted to try driving around this half-track New Holland. Something a little unusual. I do like the animation on this one. If we look up close, we can see the drive shaft running. I I think I pointed that out before, but I do find it fascinating. I think I better pay attention to what I'm doing so we don't get off track here. Now, we did have some questions from YouTube. I'll answer a couple of those while we're doing this. Someone asked, do I use cheats during the game? Really, the only place I use cheats is at the beginning of a map. I will use a money cheat if we need some equipment that we don't have the money for at the beginning. Generally, after that, don't use a money cheat. Something interesting you'll notice about field 24 here is on the bottom and side we don't have any fence as we have had in the rest of these fields on Nebraska land. I'm not quite sure why we don't. Maybe they run out of fence posts. Maybe they run out of barbed wire. Maybe ran out of money to pay for fence posts and barbed wire. I think I'm going to have to turn this around again. The interesting thing is this tree graphic is something you can end up driving through. It's like a backdrop for a stage. Okay, I think we're lined up right finally. Kind of a rolling hill here in field 24. Yeah, you'll notice to our left we don't have any barbed wire fence either. Yeah, you can see our field 19 up ahead with the terrace. Kind of a interesting distance view of those terraced fields, how they're arranged. They're pretty steep, really. Spent a little time on them an episode back. With a little bit of end cab here at the end. Okay, time to turn it over to Greg. Alright, got Greg on the job. I thought we'd look at things a little closer without me having to worry about my driving. Have a good look at the Halftrac again. See how the seeder works. Well, there was a comment that I don't seem to wash anything at all. And we're going to wash the quad track here at the wash rack. Particularly since we've been towing the honey wagon around with it. give it a good spray down here in our wash rack. Probably better wash the honey wagon off as well. You don't really want that stink in the yard. The wash rack features kind of nice. Collects all that dirty water in the grate. You can have it disposed of properly so you don't contaminate the environment. Okay, done with washing.